Here with me now, Democratic strategist Liz Smith, former Hillary Clinton spokesperson Mo Elleithee, and Mo is also the executive director of the Institute of Politics and Public Service at Georgetown University, and finally CBSN political contributor, Democratic strategist, and former communications director for Tim Kaine, Lynda Tran. Welcome all. So, Mo, tonight, this is a layup question. Tonight is, Hillary Clinton's had a career spanning decades. This is the night. Many people say she's been waiting for this for a long time, going back to 2004. How big of a moment is this for her?
I think it's a big night. I think this is a real opportunity for her inside the campaign. They have this joke that, she's the most famous person in the world that nobody really knows. And so tonight's the opportunity for her to help people understand who she really is. And the frame of this campaign for her is, I think, fairly simple. It is, I have been and I have always been and will always be a champion for you, to try to level the playing field for you. Donald Trump has always only been in it for himself. But it's that first half tonight that I really hope she focuses on tonight, making the affirmative case for how she can be a champion for everyday Americans looking to just have a level playing field.
I always find it interesting, Liz, that people say that they don't know her. They don't know her. This fascination with getting to know somebody beyond what you see them do on a more or less regular basis. But part of what this convention is all about is these surrogates that get up on the stage and give insights into who Hillary Clinton is as a person. Did we see that? Did that come across?
Yeah, I think it came across very effectively. They had, over the last few nights, people who've known her over the course of many decades, telling all different aspects of her personal biography. And the thing is, look, we all know her as the First Lady. We all know about her as Senator. We all know about her as Secretary of State. But we need to learn more about her as a human being. And I think they did effectively convey that over the last few days.
Lynda, President Obama said last night that Hillary Clinton is the most qualified person ever to be president. But qualifications really aren't her issue, because 67% of Americans don't trust her. That's according to a CBS News poll. And 55% of Americans view her unfavorably. So how does she change that?
I think tonight she's got to do two things, really. One is let down her guard, which she's done in glimpses throughout the campaign season.
Like 2 times in the last 30 years.
Well, when she does do that, though, it's compelling. I mean, you think back to 2008 in New Hampshire when she was asked that question.
That's the one time I was thinking. I actually said 2, 3, but I only remember that one moment when she had that, it's hard kind of a moment, right?
Yeah, exactly. She was asked, is it hard? And she teared up. For folks who are watching at home who may not remember, she teared up and said, it is so hard. And she saw her numbers rise, and I think the challenge for her then was, it was a moment, and then she put the wall back up again, and that was hard.
Yeah, and I think on the trust issue, look, these are both candidates. They're the 2 most unpopular candidates in history. That's just the reality. But on the trust issue, I think that she needs to bank on the fact that a different type of trust is going to be determinative in this election. And it's the trust that people have in her to get things done, to be persistent, and to never give up. And I think that people do believe that she is a tenacious person and that she is a fighter.
Well, we're going to talk about Trump. Both Secretary Clinton and Donald Trump are tied nationally in a CBS poll out this week. And in many national polls, Trump is leading. Clearly his message and his campaign are resonating with voters. Does she have reason to worry? Because a lot of Democrats, when Donald Trump announced his candidacy, thought this might be a layup. Clearly, it is not going to be.
No, and I think anyone that thought it would be a layup just doesn't understand how politics works today. Now, look, he's got a little bump coming out of his convention. That's natural. That's normal. I think she'll get a bump coming out of this convention, and then we'll see where things settle within the next few weeks. But I do think we are polarized as a nation. Right? That's just the starting point. Whoever has the R next to their name starts with 40%. Whoever has the D next to their name starts with 40%. And you're fighting for the 20% that are in the middle. And so that's why it is important for her to make this contrast. To not only, Democrats cannot just sit here and try to make this election a referendum on Donald Trump. We have to make this about the contrast, the 2 competing visions, and we have to make sure people begin to understand who she is and what her motivation is.
Except what I saw last week, Lynda, is you're saying that the Democrats should not make this about Donald Trump. What I saw last week in Cleveland was everybody who got up on that stage at the RNC was making it about
I think
her.
that was a huge mistake, ultimately. Yeah, he got a little bump coming out of this, but they missed a huge opportunity to use their convention to begin to expand beyond just their base. They spent their entire convention trying to coalesce their base, trying to convince Republicans to come on board by focusing on the one unifying factor Republicans have, which is dislike for Hillary Clinton. They didn't make a compelling case for Donald Trump. You've seen a very different approach here that I think in the long run will pay off.
All right,
yeah,
so go ahead,
at the end of the day, voters have to have something to vote for. They're not going to make it out to the ballot box just to vote against something.
That's right.